Barbi Price is a boomer who was a late bloomer. The oldest of 5 children, she was a painfully shy, pigeon-toed child who grew into an awkward teenager who could not dance. She spent every summer of her youth on a rustic island in Canada and attended a small liberal arts college in Ohio, where she majored in art until she chickened out and switched to English. She started her teaching career in 1974 in her hometown of Dayton, Ohio, received a master's in administration from the University of Virginia in 1979, and taught English and public speaking continuously for 40 years at various schools, including Washington Junior High, JHS, and JCC. One of her signature creations as a teacher was Movie and a Muffin. During those years, Mrs. Price also got married, raised 4 children, and became a national figure skating judge. She served on the boards of the Community Foundation and Jamestown Parks and Recreation. She was inducted into the Chautauqua County Sports Hall of Fame this past year and was a 2-time winner of Teacher of the Year at JCC. Mrs. Price is a bad speller, allergic to even the rumor of poison ivy, and addicted to Instagram. In the winter, she is a downhill skier, and in the summer, she is the docent at the Chautauqua Institution Art Galleries. She is not particularly fond of small children or dogs, but she finds teenagers funny and interesting. She loved teaching and remembers our class as a competitive, every other day freshman, as her hilarious sophomore homeroom, as Poetry Out Loud participants, and as talented public speaking students. We thought that after she retired, we'd never have to listen to her again, but somehow she wrangled herself onto this stage for one last come to Jesus. Please welcome Barbi Price to the stage.
Oh, my lammies. I remember you. Do you remember me? 60 of you sat in my 9AT English and public speaking classes. 18 of you were in my homeroom. Some of you were in Key Club and in Raider Reader Book Club, and others of you knew me only as that mean lady in room 103. Never in my life did I think that I would get to give a commencement address, and quite frankly, I feel like I have imposter syndrome. I was wondering what I could say to you that would be meaningful without sounding like your grandmother. And then I realized that even though I am 7'1", and you are closer to 1'7", we actually have some important things in common. You are a senior, and so am I. We both spent time in the JHS cafeteria. Maybe that's why you have selective hearing and I am nearly deaf. We both mastered the art of the eye roll when we thought each other was ridiculous, often correctly. We both loved Brenda, the cat lady custodian, and Miss Smith's delicious homemade cookies. We both had a language barrier. You taught me words like riz, tea, bussin', and sus. And I had to explain to you expressions like kissing cousins, don't get your knickers in a twist, and Moreover, we both have the same kind of addiction. I used to be so dismissive of the time that you wasted watching TikTok and YouTube videos. And now I have gone down the rabbit hole of the Instagram. I totally get it. Additionally, we're both forgetful. You forgot to do your homework. You forgot how to punctuate a conjunctive adverb. You sometimes forgot to come to school. Nowadays, I too am forgetful of where I put my glasses and my car keys. Our brains are in flux. Your prefrontal cortex is still developing, and mine might be starting to shrivel. And finally, as the Book of Common Prayer so eloquently says, we have all done things we ought not to have done, and left undone the things that we ought to have done. We have much in common because we shared a time and a place in a physical space, but mostly of all because we're human. And in what is essentially my last lecture, let's explore our common humanity before I let you go. I know that not all of you were A+ students. But my hope for you is that you will become A+ people. Deepak Chopra says that there are 4 signposts of a healthy, well-lived life. And they are 4 A words: attention, acceptance, appreciation, and affection. I think he's right, and I want to talk about those for a minute. But in my decades of teaching, I think that there is a 5th A word that is the gatekeeper, the prerequisite to the others. The first and most important A is attitude. We know how easy it is for our attitude to go negative. So my earnest advice to you is adjust it. Nobody can change your attitude but you. And it's a daily choice. Pick a hand. You can face life as a chore and whine about what you've got to do, or you can see life as a series of opportunities that you get to do. A famous preacher once asked, when you wake up in the morning and roll out of bed, do you say, "Good morning, God"? Or do you groan, "Good God, morning"? Feelings are fickle and negativity is contagious. So practice talking yourself out of it every time it rears its ugly head. No, you don't have to be annoyingly cheerful like Pollyanna. I know some of you don't know who that is, but you can look it up. But my point is that your attitude is in your control. Circumstances are often not in our control. Our response to them is freely ours and is the key to our character. Smiling when it hurts to do so, trying again and again and yet again, telling yourself, "I get to," instead of "I've got to," and resisting the urge to blame other people and make excuses for setbacks will have a huge effect on your future, I promise. This is being in the trenches of real life. So, Now your attitude is adjusted. What do you do with it? You pay attention. You get over yourself. You look at the people around you and you listen, really listen, rather than react, judge, and jump in with your own big fat opinion. I once told my husband, early in our marriage, that some people at a party were boring. And he, the love of my life, looked at me and said, "No, Barbie, you are boring." If you can't work hard enough to bring out what is interesting in other people, that's on you. It hurt my feelings, but he was right. And ever since then, whenever I am tempted to say, "This is stupid and boring," I slap myself, sit up straighter, pay attention, look for the positive, and that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I entreat you to give everyone the attention they deserve. Step back, park your own ego, open your mind, and give other people a chance to show you how interesting they can be. Who knows? You might even learn something. So now you've got a can-do attitude, you're paying attention, and amazingly, it dawns on you that not everybody thinks the same way you do. Do you get into a fight in the cafeteria? No, you do not. You try and accept everybody the way they are rather than the way you think they ought to be. Calm down, give people some space, listen to them, and accept the fact that you may have to agree to disagree. People are not always what they seem. You can't tell. Accept others and prepare to be pleasantly surprised. The fourth A is appreciation. How lucky are we? Here we are in this beautiful venue on this happy occasion, surrounded by people who love us, living in a country that is so great that other people are literally dying to get into it, on a bountiful earth. And do we appreciate it? Not always, and maybe not enough. Also, let's remember to appreciate not only the people who love us, but the people who test us and challenge us, who make us hear the hard truths that we would rather avoid. For my part, I am appreciative of you. It's so cliche to say, but as a teacher, I learned a lot from you. Through the years, you showed me individual courage. You showed me emotional bravery and determination. You kept me young. You made me laugh every day. You made me say, "Yippee, I get to go to school and do what I love best, teach." And I thank you for that. So, you start with a great attitude, you pay attention to others, you accept them as they are, you appreciate everything you've been given, but the sweetener, the payoff in life, is the last A, affection. You can't always be the smartest, best looking, richest, most athletic person in the room, but you can always be the kindest, and kindness blossoms naturally into affection. So share the love and pay it forward. And you'll get a bonus. Hard work on those 5 A's will inevitably boomerang, and you will find yourself the recipient of all the positivity, attention, acceptance, appreciation, affection that you've been pouring out. That's the universe's little secret. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear how someone else, with whom I also have something in common, shared his positive attitude when he sent me a text and accepted me as a teacher and shared his appreciation and affection.
What up, Miss Price? This is Big Snoop Dogg. Wishing you a whole lot of love and a whole lot of good luck in that 9th grade class. Keep teaching those kids that AP. Love.
The D-O-double-G and I wish you all straight A+ futures filled with love given and received. And now, assuming that no one has any questions, problems, or concerns, that wraps up my last lecture. I pinky swear. Class of 2024, you are dismissed.